Hey guys, so here I'm going to talk to you about the 5 key factors in playtesting board games. I'm doing this from a very appropriate venue. I am currently outside the Essen Spiel game show. Brilliant place, there's thousands of games inside and many thousands of people, which is why I've come outside to do this. But basically, I've been playtesting games for a very long time now. I've playtested them as my job. My full-time job at one point in time was to go and test classic games like Monopoly, Trivial Pursuit, Cluedo, and other games like this, all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to crack straight on into the 5 key factors in playtesting board games. So the first one is to validate the entry point to the game. So here's the thing, if the player can't understand like how the game works, what they're supposed to do, they can't play it. And this is by far the biggest barrier to adoption of playing board games, is whether you can understand how it plays or not. So first things first is the entry point is most fundamental, because a lot of players don't get past it. So your instructions need to be to the point, they need to be not convoluted, and more importantly, they need to be understandable by the players themselves, not just by you as the inventor. So the amount of times I've seen an inventor tell me that they've play tested the game extensively, when actually what they've really done is a demonstration. They've taken the players through the game and they've in effect shown them how it plays, but that's not what happens when that person opens the box. So yeah, you've got to validate the entry point to the game and test it to see if they can understand how it plays from whatever you would be giving to the normal person who plays the game. Key factor number 2 is to check that the game is engaging throughout. So obviously all games are different and the play mechanisms are different, but you have to look at things like, if you've got like a turn-taking structure, normally you need some kind of interaction in between turns, otherwise the player's just sat there. If you've got 4 players or even 5 or 6 players and someone just has a go and then waits 5 minutes, that's not really very exciting for them. So bear in mind, games are about social interaction as well as competition, so you have to give them that opportunity. And I think like you could argue that a game like chess or Scrabble is basically a turn-taking game, so like what am I talking about? But the thing is, in chess for example, it's you against another person and you're always thinking, whatever they're doing, you're always thinking. You're thinking several moves ahead if you're good, multiple moves ahead. And the same applies to Scrabble. When the other players go, you're then trying to work out, okay, they've changed that, I was going to go there, or what else could I add to that? So even though it's like take your turn and wait, you're actually doing something in between. So I think like you have to fundamentally make your game engaging throughout, whatever the structure of the mechanism is, and that's one of the things that playtesting really should reveal to you. The third key factor is to playtest across different demographics. Okay, so the thing is, you have games for very small children, you can have like really advanced strategy games for adults, but there's still variation within that. People are still different. Maybe they're different in terms of the level of education, the level of knowledge, are they working class? Are they, affluent? Like whatever. You have to like look at the game and say, okay, if this is for everyone, then I have to test this with the groups from everyone. And if I don't know the people within those groups, then I basically have to, go and find some of those people. So I think that's most important for key factor number 3. Key factor number 4, so when you're basically testing something, what you really want is feedback from the players, right? So you can see what they're doing, but you can't necessarily understand how they're feeling unless you ask them. But more importantly, unless you give them express permission to basically tell you what's good and what's bad. If it's not working, if they're bored, you should basically give them express permission to tell you. If at any stage you are bored or not interested, please tell me, because I need to change the game. And you most likely will have to make some tweaks to the gameplay mechanism because of that. Key factor number 5 is after you've made any tweaks that come out of the outcome of the game playing, like you have to actually then retest again. So let's say I decide there needs to be more interaction between the turns. I can't just come up with something that fundamentally changes the pattern or the mechanic and then expect it just to be perfectly fine and nothing else changed. Like you've changed something quite critical within it. You then have to play test that to death as well as the other things. So look, this is just supposed to be like a quick 5-minute video going through some of the key factors of playtesting. The thing is, like I say, over the years I've tested an awful lot of games, and most of what you can get out of gameplay testing is kind of going to be hugely enhanced by those 5 factors. So yeah, if you just implement those in your gameplay testing, then you should find that you end up with much better games that people want to play. Thanks for listening. See you next time. Bye.